Hi guys. So 3 days ago, my notifications for comments stopped working completely, which is very, very odd. I read most of my comments, it's how I start my day, so this troubled me a little bit and is increasingly worrisome because it has not been yet resolved. I can only see comments now as they are posted, and I don't know if somebody has responded to me in a thread or on somebody else's channel because I'm not getting notifications. Also, although this is a long-standing issue, I have 61 comments held for review and 779 in likely spam that I have never accessed or seen, and they're there all the time. They have been for months. Additionally, I've heard from a few people over the last few months that they were auto-unsubscribed from my channel, and others do not get notifications when I put up a new video. Most of this stuff has been going on for a while, but I got really alarmed when I believe it was my 6th video was demonetized. It was one of my first videos, Feminism is for Idiots and Uglies. And another about race and crime was also demonetized, and that one is about 8 months old. Then last night on my podcast, Beauty and the Beta, last night's episode was demonetized while it was uploading it. It hadn't even gone through processing yet. And Matt Christensen, my podcast co-host, and I, we think it's because we had London Attack in the title, which turned off advertisers. Otherwise, it was pretty advertiser friendly, I think. Additionally, I just looked, and 2 more of my videos were demonetized overnight, my series on cultural Marxism, with no notice from YouTube this time and without any option for appealing. For content creators with 6-figure sub counts, ad revenue is really significant. Some of them are getting 60-70% of their income just from ad revenue. So it isn't a huge factor or a huge deal for a channel that's my size, but it does amount to several $1,000s lost over the course of a year. And I have to assume that my old videos will continue to be demonetized without notice or the ability to appeal, as will my new content. Styx Hexenhammer and Paul Joseph Watson have noticed this, along with tons and tons of other content creators that are losing money. And I've linked their videos along with Philly D's from today if you haven't already seen them. Styx thinks that content creators need to band together to promote each other and eventually to create a new platform. And I agree with him wholeheartedly. If YouTube algorithms are preventing us from being recommended and you can't see or search for some of our videos when you aren't signed in, all we can really do outside of leaving the platform is help to promote one another's content and hope that we can increase our visibility in a more organic way. But to mainstream media and television, whether or not we are conservative or liberal, we're still competition. TV networks see their views and their ratings dwindling and see Generation Z's preference for the internet over television. So they're merely adapting, and we must as well. Last year, YouTube changed its terms of service to exclude videos from advertising that contain, quote, controversial or sensitive subjects and events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters, and tragedies, even if no graphic imagery is shown. Corporations like Verizon and Johnson & Johnson saw that their ads were being played before offensive content, much of it right-wing. This is why we have seen mass demonetization over the last few weeks. But over the last few days, Toyota, AT&T, Kia, hundreds of other companies have jumped on board. Philly D sums up the change in his video today, which they only implemented over the weekend.
YouTube wrote this blog post a week ago titled, Strengthening YouTube for Advertisers and Creators. Writing, there's a difference between the free expression that lives on YouTube and the content that brands have told us they want to advertise against. Our advertiser-friendly content policy set the tone for which videos can earn revenue, ensuring that ads only appear where they should. After listening to strong feedback from our advertisers, today we announced a number of actions and we want to explain what these changes might mean for you, our YouTube creators. Tougher stance on hate speech. We will be implementing broader demonetization policies around videos that are perceived to be hateful or inflammatory. This includes removing ads more effectively from content that is harassing or attacking people based on their race, religion, gender, or similar categories. Also connected to this was accelerating appeals. Writing, today any creator whose video is demonetized can launch an appeal to have their video reviewed. Moving forward, we plan to improve the process so that reviews can happen even faster. So the question, okay Phil, they wrote this blog post a week ago, why are you talking about it now? Well, while they posted the article a week ago, they actually implemented changes over the weekend. Although you might not have noticed because it doesn't appear that YouTube or Google emailed the creators. Over the weekend, YouTube pushed through those broader demonetization policies. If you're a creator on this platform, I highly recommend you go through your backlog and see how many of your videos have now been demonetized over the weekend.
YouTube is beholden to these corporations and definitely cares more about ad revenue than individual content creators. Without this revenue, YouTube has no reason to continue to support the platform of folks with inappropriate content. But they cannot just delete our channels, it's too obvious. PewDiePie has 54 million subscribers. That would piss off his entire fan base who would follow him to any other platform. YouTube has to be more stealth. And we already know that Google has outright said that they will bury search results but will not censor anybody, per se. You may have been hearing about restricted mode. You have to sign in and age verify to see any of these videos. You can't just browse without signing in, which tons of people do. But if you look at CNN and MSNBC and other mainstream media outlets, they do not have a single video restricted in restricted mode. You can access all of them without being signed in. But every single one of Paul Joseph Watson's videos, Steven Crowder's, PewDiePie, Philip DeFranco, are not visible in restricted mode. Half of roaming millennials are gone. YouTube is gearing up for a TV-based future, which we all knew because of the monthly streaming service. All of the major networks are establishing themselves on YouTube TV, and despite their content, they are not subject to restricted mode, making their content visible at all times, whether or not you are logged in, and they are largely deemed advertiser-friendly, which bolsters YouTube financially despite the changing nature of the platform. Individual content creators, which is what YouTube used to be about, serve little or no purpose anymore now that they've been deemed inappropriate for advertisers and they won't bring in any money. I love YouTube. This is my income. It's my passion. I love releasing videos. I love the platform and how it's interactive. But I am very quickly losing faith in our ability as content creators to discuss the things that matter most without penalty, particularly financial penalty. A lot of your favorite content creators do this full time because merely covering some of the subject matter that we do completely precludes us from having conventional jobs. So losing a big chunk of your income covering what is most controversial and important is a huge disincentive. So if you have a favorite content creator, you can support them on Patreon or PayPal or Bitcoin, which will allow them some freedom to create content without relying solely on ad revenue. But if we don't have a platform, alternative media will just stop producing content. Why would you face social alienation, reduced job prospects, and public scrutiny if you can't pay your bills or get your content in front of people? YouTube and Google don't want to outright censor content creators. They want to make the return on investment for alternative media so low that we will either have to self-censor or give up our projects entirely. YouTube is the giant in the industry, but I don't see why there can't be a competitor. And we may be forced off the platform, so we have to consider this. People want to speak freely on these platforms across ideologies, and Generation Z likes conservative content and will follow the content, especially if they think it's being censored. I mean, the Streisand effect. I know Stix and some others use VidMe. I think I'll check this out. And if you have any other suggestions for monetized platforms, please let me know in the comments section. At some point, we will have to transition completely off of Twitter and Facebook and onto Minds.com, which I'm trying to do now. I hope we don't have to transition off of YouTube, but it is looking increasingly like we may have to. So thanks, and I'll see you soon. Bye.